Welcome to one more session of Tech Talk series as a part of Embedded Safety and Security Conference. So today I have with me Mr. Raghavendra Bhat, who is the Senior Technical Manager leading the Systems and Engineering at Ansys for APAC region. And so Raghavendra, it's great to have you for the 8th edition of this summit. And as you had detailed so many things in the presentation, taking that conversation little ahead. So I want to ask, what is the scope of system engineering in today's world, considering all the AI element and all the disruptive things that are coming on board now?
Yeah, so system engineering is something that has a very wide scope. It starts right at the beginning when you are conceptualizing the system, and then goes all the way through the design, development, implementation, and deployment of the system. Then it goes on until the maintenance of the system, which is being actively in use. And it even covers the end-of-life aspects of the system. So it's basically something that covers the whole phase of the system's development. And this system engineering concept has primarily come into picture because today's systems are becoming extremely complex. There are so many features, functions that need to be realized by these systems. And today, if you see most of such complex projects, they either are not completely developed or they are not fully successful. And those projects that are successfully delivered also has lack of features and functionalities than what they started off with. So the system engineering has been evolved primarily to address these challenges in the industry to support successful realization of complex systems.
So, it's an overall structure, and you have to start from the initial stage to make sure that system is safe.
Yes. So when you speak about from the system's perspective, what's important is that you need to understand what are the attributes that matter a lot at the system level. If you generally see the way how the system development happens, we have our own specialization in each domain. So someone is expert in software, someone is expert in electronics, someone is a structural engineer. But however, when you look at a system, it's not these pieces alone. It's actually these pieces put together into a larger picture, and these pieces talking with each other to realize the higher goal of the system. Now, what we see in the industry is that we have a good level of maturity when it comes to the subsystem development. If I am responsible for the software development, I can independently develop my software and give you an assurance that the software does what it is supposed to do. However, when you put the software in combination with the electronics, that's not entirely my domain because there is somebody else bringing in their expertise. And these things probably don't talk as expected. And this big picture has to be brought in from the system engineering side. His primary responsibility would be to define the requirements and the behavior, performance, everything from each of these pieces. Not only that, but he also is responsible to define the interfaces between these different pieces so that finally, when you bring them all together, plug them into the whole system, they smoothly talk to each other and get you the function you wanted.
Thank you. And the next question would be where nowadays people are working in collaboration, even though they are sitting in silos. It's like there is a distributed team all over the world, and they are all working in collaboration. So how does tool helps to make sure that this collaborative but distributed kind of system works effectively?
Sure. So first of all, tools make you smarter. On a lighter note, say we speak about chimpanzees being smarter. So why do you call them? Because they have understanding of making tools. So chimpanzees make small sticks, they put them into the burrow of ants, they then feast on them. This knowledge or this intelligence that is exhibited makes them more successful. So that's on the lighter note. So what tools are today are the essential backbone of our current innovation that's going on. So whether the teams are distributed or the teams are local, you probably cannot imagine someone coming up with the product or the technology, whether it is a physical product or a virtual solution, without the help of tools. It's that much essential in our today's world. And post-COVID, this distributed nature of working has become a norm than exception. Now we have people, earlier it used to be globally distributed teams, and we need to collaborate with those teams. But today, even if you are in the same site, some people are working in office, some people are working in another office, a couple of people are working from home. So you still need to enable the collaboration between all of these people. And tools provide you an infrastructure where this collaboration can happen. So that's
And
yeah.
that's effective in terms of time, energy, money.
Precisely. So when we speak about collaboration, it's important that we share the common understanding. So the tools keep this data, and they facilitate this mechanism of sharing the data across the team, and then they help us understand or gain the common truth of what we're talking about.
So thank you, Raghavendra. Anything else you want to add on about the experience on EAAA?
Yes. So ESSS, I remember when the ESSS was being discussed and conceived a couple of years ago. And one of the objectives that Shinto was talking about back then is to bring the entire ecosystem together. So the objective was, we have customers that obviously are going to use best of the tools that is required in their development environment. And obviously there is not one company that can offer all of these solutions. And however, the challenge in the industry with the customers is that he has certain information from one vendor in one tool that needs to be connected or brought in to another tool which comes from another vendor. And since these are two different companies, they do not talk, or even if they talk, they don't talk very well. So customer is in a fix. He won't really be able to realize the complete workflow as smoothly as it should be. So I remember Shinto talking in the first meeting where one of the objective of this ESSS event is to bring in all of these two vendors plus the customers together on a common platform, so that we have an opportunity to exchange the ideas together. And wherever there is a need for tools to connect with each other and pass on the information. This is not only the tools perspective. We also need to have this connection between the companies, because we all collectively contribute to the development of the society. So we are not just in the business of selling the tools, because we grow with the industry. We enable the industry to come up with something new and innovative. So our commitment to the society would go much beyond selling the tools. So we work with the academy, we work with the industry, we work with the standards committee. So basically, it's a collective development of the entire ecosystem. And I really want to thank Shinto for coming up with such a thought at the beginning and successfully continuing this year after year.
Thank you. Thank you, Raghavendra. And I believe that the thoughts of Raghavendra has resonated with many of the embedded community members over there. And thank you.